All right, everybody, let's dive into this.
Yeah.
Let's talk money.
Yeah.
Financial freedom.
Who doesn't want that?
Right. Who doesn't want to be, free to make choices, not be tied down by money, right?
Yeah.
And today we're talking Dave Ramsey's 7 Baby Steps, which,
Classic.
yeah, he's kind of a legend. Right?
He is. He's the OG.
Yeah, he's got that way about him, right?
Yeah, that no nonsense, like let's get down to brass tacks.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes it's maybe a little,
A little aggressive.
yeah, a little aggressive, but there's something to be said for that, right? Like, cut through the noise.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we're not just going to rehash the steps, because I think a lot of people are familiar with those,
Yeah.
at least on the surface level.
Yeah.
But we're going to really try to unpack the WHY
Yeah, the why behind them.
behind it, because I think that's where the real magic happens, right?
It is, and it's the behavioral stuff. It's not the math as much. The math's not that hard.
It's the behavior. Yeah,
He really nails the psychology of it.
yeah. So let's start at the beginning. Baby step number 1. Saving $1,000.
$1,000.
Which always seemed kind of, I don't know, a little underwhelming when I first heard that.
It's not a lot of money.
Like, the real goal is to have several months of expenses saved, right?
Right.
Why even bother with $1,000?
It's a quick win. It's all about, it's proving to yourself that you can do it
Okay.
and getting that, it's like the spark before you light the fire, right? You're not starting a fire with a log. You're starting it with kindling, and that's your kindling.
So it's like a psychological thing,
Totally.
more than an actual, like...
Yeah, it's not gonna, I mean, $1,000 isn't gonna solve all your problems.
Right.
But it's gonna prove to you that you can
It's going to build the momentum.
for that momentum. Yeah, you can get that win early.
And maybe make those bigger steps seem a little less daunting.
Right.
Because, let's face it, debt is...
Daunting.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, a lot of people are carrying around
Oh yeah, tons of it.
a lot of baggage around it.
Student loans, credit cards.
Right. And we're kind of conditioned to think that it's normal.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, I think we're very much, I don't know if it's our parents' fault, but just, it's the American way, right?
Yeah.
You get a mortgage, you get a car payment. That's just what you do.
Right. And Dave Ramsey, he's not having it.
Oh no, he calls us out. Yeah.
No. He
The richest broke country in the world.
like, that gets me every time
It's
when he
just-
says that.
Yeah. It's over $1 trillion in credit card debt alone in this country. It's crazy.
It's mind-blowing, right?
It's wild.
And so that's and he talks about
And that's just credit cards, right? We're not talking about student loan debt or anything.
Right. Exactly. And he talks about this idea of debt being a product.
It is.
Like, it's marketed to us, right? More aggressively
Hit
than...
almost anything else, yeah.
Yeah, I never really thought about it that way, but
It's true.
it's true. When you see it, it's like credit card offers,
Car payment.
car loans, student loans. It's like everywhere you turn.
Oh, yeah. Buy now, pay later.
Right.
That's the new one.
It's like this constant bombardment.
Yeah. You get the little, what are those things called? The, not the QR codes, but you scan your phone and then suddenly you're pre-approved. It's
Too easy.
too easy, yeah. And you don't even think about the consequences, right?
Right. Okay, so
Baby step 2.
baby step 2, the debt snowball.
Yeah, you got to get rid of that debt.
Get out of debt. Now this one, I'll be honest,
Yeah.
when I first heard about it, I was like,
It's counterintuitive.
counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Why am I paying off the smallest debt first?
Right.
Shouldn't I be, looking at interest rates?
Well, and logically you should.
Right, like mathematically that makes more sense.
Yeah, you'd think so, right.
But he's all about the
But this is the psychology of
The
it.
psychology.
That's the behavior change. Like you get that first win.
and it's funny because there's actually research to back this up.
There is, yeah.
I remember reading this Northwestern University study, and they found that people who use the debt snowball method were
Successful.
more likely to actually become debt-free.
Yes. Yeah.
Even though it's not always the most mathematically efficient way to do it.
It's not always the fastest, but it's the one that gets you there.
It's the mindset, right?
Absolutely.
Like, okay,
It's like those small wins, right? You knock out that first one,
yeah, you get that little,
you get that little dopamine hit.
yes.
And then you're like, all right, I can do this.
Like, you're not just chipping away at this, massive balance. You're like, ooh, I killed that debt.
You knocked it out.
Yeah.
It's gone.
And then you take that money that you were putting towards that, and you roll it into the next one.
Right. It's snowballs.
A snowball.
Hence the name.
And he always says, like, don't argue with a system that's worked for millions of people.
Yeah. Don't argue with results.
Don't be arguing with the personal trainer who's ripped while you're,
Exactly, yeah.
sitting there eating potato chips.
Yeah. He's got a way with words.
Oh yeah. But I think the bigger point here is that it's not even really about the method.
Right.
It's about the mindset.
It's a behavior change.
It's about taking control
Absolutely.
of your finances.
Yeah. It's empowering.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, I think, really sets the stage for baby step 3, which is building that fully funded emergency fund. Now we're talking 3 to 6 months of expenses.
Yeah. Now we're cooking.
Now we're cooking.
Yeah.
This is where that like breathe easy money comes in, right?
Right. You've got that buffer.
Like if life throws you a curveball,
that cushion.
you're not.
Yeah, because life is going to happen.
It's gonna happen.
Whether you want it to or not, it's going to throw you a curveball eventually.
Yeah.
And you got to be ready for it.
Yeah, so it's almost like you're
That's why you got that emergency fund. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even just a curveball. It's just like life.
Car breaks down.
Yeah, you lose your job.
The roof starts leaking.
Right,
You
right.
got to be ready for it,
And I think there's something to be said for like the peace of mind that comes with that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like knowing that you can handle those things.
Because when you don't have that, you make bad decisions when you're desperate.
Exactly.
And that's when you get further into debt.
You're constantly reacting instead of being proactive.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like you're finally in a place where you can kind of
You can breathe,
breathe a little.
and then you can start actually building wealth.
Right. Which brings us to baby step 4.
Yeah. This is where it gets fun.
This is the fun part.
This is the sexy stuff, right?
15%.
This is where we're actually like building a future here.
Into retirement. Okay, now this, I will say, this is where I think a lot of people
Get scared.
get a little intimidated. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like investing. That's for rich people. I don't know anything about that.
Right. Like I'm not a Wall Street guy. I don't,
Sure.
I don't understand the stock market.
Yeah.
And this is where, Ramsey, he's really good at debunking some of those myths.
He is.
Because he's like, most millionaires, they're not day trading.
They're
They're not out there picking stocks.
They're just investing in index funds. They're doing the boring stuff.
Scoring, yeah.
It's the slow and steady.
It's like the tortoise and the hare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not about timing the market. It's about time in the market.
Time in the market, exactly. And this is where that whole compound interest thing,
That's the magic.
the magic, yeah. I always think back to that example that he gives. It's like the guy who invests a couple $1,000 when he's 19
Yeah, and forgets about it.
forgets about it,
Yeah.
and then 40 years later,
Millions.
it's $1 million.
It's wild, right?
And you're just like, wait, what?
Like that's the power of compound interest.
So it's like this. It's this idea of playing the long game,
exactly.
even if you're not.
Yeah, you don't have to be a millionaire to start. You just gotta start.
Yeah, and I think that's a really empowering message,
Because it feels attainable.
Yeah, it's not about I need to have thousands of dollars to invest. It's like
Just start small, be consistent,
consistent.
and let it ride.
Let it ride. Exactly. Okay, so now he throws in baby step 5, which is saving for your kids' college.
Yeah, so this is interesting because
Which I feel like this is where
it depends on who you talk to, right?
yes, a lot of people are probably like, wait, he wants us to pay for college in cash too.
Especially in this economy, yeah.
Here. Like after everything else.
It's a tall order, but his thing is he really hates student loan debt, right?
Yeah.
He thinks it's predatory. He doesn't see any reason for it.
He's got a point when you look at those numbers, right? Like graduates putting off
Oh, it's crippling.
home ownership,
Yeah.
marriage, even kids,
Totally.
because they're just so burdened by this debt.
Living paycheck to paycheck just to pay off these student loans.
Right. And he always talks about, there are other ways to do college, like community college,
Yeah.
scholarships.
Trade schools,
Yeah. Right.
Like maybe you don't have to go to the Ivy League.
Right. Yeah. Is it worth it?
Right, exactly. So now you've hypothetically
You're debt free.
debt-free,
You got your emergency fund. You're
paid
investing.
for college,
You're on your way.
killing it.
Yeah.
You get to baby step 6,
Ah.
pay off your house early.
The big one.
Now, this is another one where
This is a big mental hurdle for a lot of people.
huge because we're told mortgage. That's good debt. Everybody's got a mortgage.
Yeah, it's an investment.
Right.
It's like the thing you do.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the American dream.
Yeah, but Dave's like, no, the American dream is owning your house free and clear.
Because then you really have no debt.
Yeah.
That's real freedom.
And he brings up that millionaire study again, right?
Yeah, most millionaires, they don't carry a lot of debt. Right?
No, they paid off their houses early. They understand that.
Yeah, because it's peace of mind, number one.
Oh, yeah. Huge peace of mind.
And two, it just gives you so much more flexibility.
Right. If you
want to change jobs, if you want to, I don't know, take a year off.
Do you want to retire early, maybe?
Exactly.
Travel the world?
Yeah, you're not beholden to that mortgage payment every month.
You're not, yeah.
So it's a huge mental hurdle for people to get over.
What about those arguments, though, about the tax benefits of a mortgage?
Oh, yeah, he goes on a whole thing about that.
Because you always hear that, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you gotta...
He's like, show me the math. Show me the math. Right. He's like, the math doesn't work out, folks.
Right.
So
okay.
He basically breaks it down like this. He's like, okay, so you're gonna get a tax break on the interest you pay, but you're also paying a ton of interest.
You're paying all of that interest.
It's like what are you really saving?
Right.
He's like, you're better off just paying it off as quickly as possible.
Okay, so you're on the home stretch now, right?
So baby step 7.
Baby step 7.
This is the fun one.
This is where it gets really interesting, I think.
This is where it gets controversial for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because this is where we talk about giving.
Giving. Build wealth and give generously. Now, this is where I think a lot of people are like, hold on, I just climbed Mount Financial Freedom.
Yeah, I earned this.
Yeah, I did all this work, and now you're telling me to give away my hard-earned money.
Yeah, and Dave's whole thing is like, if that's your attitude, then you're missing the point.
Okay.
Right? Like it's not about hoarding your wealth, it's about
abundance.
Yeah, it's about living a life of abundance.
So how does that tie into the whole financial freedom thing?
Well, so his thing is, he's like, when you're generous, when you give, it actually makes you a better person.
Oh, okay.
Right? And when you're a better person, you're more likely to be successful.
Right.
You're more likely to attract good things into your life.
So it's like this mindset shift, right?
It's a mindset shift.
Like it's not just about the money, it's about who you're becoming in the process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he has this great analogy that he always uses. It's from Rabbi Daniel Lapin.
Okay.
And he compares money, not to like a cake that you're cutting up, right? Like you give a piece away, you have less cake.
Right.
He compares it to candles.
Okay, I like this already.
Right. So think about it. You have a candle. You light somebody else's candle with yours.
Does your candle get dimmer?
Does your candle get dimmer? No, in fact, there's more light.
There's more light in the world.
Right. And that's how he sees generosity, right? It's not about depletion, it's about illumination.
I like it.
Right. You're spreading light by giving, by using your resources to help others.
So wow.
So it's not about the money. It's about what the money represents.
About what you choose to do with it.
Yeah, it's about the impact.
Okay, so we are at the end of the road here.
Mm-hmm.
The 7 baby steps. You've done it all.
You've reached the top of the mountain.
Paid off your debt. You've invested.
You're giving generously.
You're giving back. Your house is paid off.
You're living the dream.
You're living the dream. That's incredible. And I think that's really what we wanted to kind of unpack today is that
it's not just about the money, right?
It's not just about the money. It's about
the life that you're building.
The life you want.
Yeah.
The choices that you're able to make because you're not
shackled by all that debt.
Shackled.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
It's about freedom.
It's about freedom. Yeah. All right. Well, that was amazing. Thanks for breaking that down.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was fantastic.
It's always fun to talk about Dave.
Yeah, he's a character, that's for sure.
He is. But he gets results.
He does. He's the results. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.